alam, than one who knows how to learn and disobeys, as a show. Let's say, shed Yehudoy. Something that's one who learns and obeys, but he's still not a tzadik. Tzadik is one who's been trained to take on this. That is a tzadik, Villamid. That's the ultimate. We should be zechet to Villamid, Lamed, Shmuel, Aharon, Kayim, trained, which is a Torah, and that's supposed to be there, but to see, he has to tzadik to take it. Look at Shabbos. A person receives mail on Shabbos, and the mail is sealed, it is forbidden to tear open the letter in order to read it. Tearing will only destroying, but it's also because destroying for the sake of getting to the letter. And it's posek, much worse if there are letters on the envelope. The words that the envelope gets open, you have to tear the letters, the words. That truly is also. It's even forbidden to tell a goy, the mailman is a goy, Yaakov, forbidden to tell him to open the letter on Shabbos. Even if you tell him to be careful not to tear the letters printing on the envelope. But if it is a goy, you make sure he does not tear the printing in the envelope. You may say, roundabout way, I cannot read the letter. I don't have X-ray eyes. And my hands are taken at the time, so the goy will understand, if he's not a Yaakov, will understand, if you write your statement, you want the letter open. Tell him directly, that is forbidden. There is a din of miskaven with Shabbos. If you do something without intention, without intent to perform an act, without intent to break the Shabbos, even though you do break the Shabbos at the time, not only is not forbidden, it's also permissible lechatchila if it is not stipulation, which means if it is not definite that the Shabbos will be broken. There's a possibility. Even if the possibility is a very high one, still, you may perform that act as long as your intentions are not for the sake of breaking the Shabbos. For example, you have a new garment to put on. And you know that if you put the sleeve through, it's going to tear partially. It may tear partially. If it definitely is going to tear, you consider that you got to open the wrist part, lock. If your hand through the shuli break open, that naturally is also because there's no question of circulation on the shuli. If, let's say, it's a very tight, smaller size, you may be able to slip your hand through, you may not. There's a chance both ways. You're allowed to put your hand straight through, and if it tears, it tears. You do not break the Shabbos because your intention is not to tear the garment. It happened at a tour, even though you knew that there'd be a possibility of tearing, you're allowed to do this lechatchila, without hesitation. Any kind of garment at all, any kind of act similar to this. By the same token, you're allowed to take these walnuts, put it into a napkin, when it doesn't see you, to break them, you put it in the napkin, you smash it on the ground, cement or something. If the napkin tears, a handkerchief, if you pick your wife's handkerchief, you don't want to spoil your own. If the handkerchief napkin tears, though you know that it probably will tear. Probably, but not definitely. There's a chance that it might not tear. You're allowed to break nuts that way if you don't have a nut cracker. So they do it even though there is that strong possibility, even the majority chances are that it will tear the cloth, napkin, or handkerchief. It's not do because your intentions are not to tear the handkerchief. Your intentions are to crack things, not to open. Nothing to do with the cloth. Therefore, since that is in miskaven, it is mutter l'chatchila. This goes first. This we learn. Any similar dinim, klal generally is not miskaven to perform an act of work at all. And there is no stipulation, which means it's possible it will not be breaking the Shabbos. That act will not happen. Halacha will not take place, possibly, then it is permissible lechatchila. However, of course, the person should be very careful to learn each day separately. There's always a little catch attached to everything. Careful to learn the halachas. If you don't perform something which might think it's mitzvah or it isn't, that's why the mitzvah learning the halachas is so recommended. I'll say a person should learn every day. That Hilchos Shabbos that is so complex and so many and so vital, so serious, the Chassidut of Shabbos, the person should always learn and review the beginning of Shabbos. To have in mind that Zohar, esteemed, Hogan, Haskell, Shmei, Lumid, Lamed, Mishmar, Rasas, and Pain. The full mitzvah of Shabbos thoroughly hope that they have the itself, and that which was there to see the Yeshua Shabbos and the also. Amen. Hilchos Shabbos is Chalal, or in the beginning, a whole, if you recall, about making the Dorim. A person who makes a neder not to eat, to restrict himself, while the posek says, Gemara tells us that it is not a good habit. The person should avoid making the Dorim. If he does make a neder, then it is better, rather than to complete the neder, it's better to eat matin neder, to go before many people, and with the Pesach Chavruta, find some kind of a reason why he regrets having made it, then they are matin neder, they say mutavach. This in of matin neder means that we are freeing a person. There's an actual case, an operation taking place where the person is being freed from this neder. Shaila is a person who has a neder and wants to release himself from this neder on Shabbos. Can he be matin neder on Shabbos? The Gemara says that Ran gives a reason why we say that on Shabbos we cannot be matin neder. Ran says in the Dorim the reason is because of the fact that you could wait. Why should you be matin neder now? So you go to Yerushalmi, you could be matir after Shabbos is over. So it's a tircha on Shabbos, as slight as it is. It takes a second. There's no work attached to it yet. It's a tircha on Shabbos. You could wait till Shabbos is over and then be matir. Says in Shulchan Aruch, Yedea says the reason is because of the daber dobar. This is not a Shabbos-dik item. You're not allowed to speak on Shabbos any weekday items. Masalmatan, business, things like that, which do not pertain to the Shabbos Kodesh. Therefore, these words of mutavach, in reference to some neder, what has this got to do with Shabbos? Because of that fact, it is usher to be matin neder on Shabbos. Now, hence, these two cases, both reasons, what if the neder pertains to Shabbos? Let's say if you made a neder not to eat at all. Made a neder not to eat or not to drink wine. He has to drink wine on Shabbos. In this case, then, since it pertains to Shabbos, since the Shabbos is affected by the neder, then all will agree that you are allowed to be matin neder on Shabbos. But if it's also a case of a dvar mitzvah, which does not affect the Shabbos, but it's a matter of a mitzvah, to go someplace to learn. He couldn't learn here, but he could learn better somewhere else. Not to go. So he can wait till after Shabbos. This does nothing to do with Shabbos itself. Because of the fact that there's a mitzvah involved, therefore it is better to mitzvah that comes to your opportunity arise to do a mitzvah, al tach mitzenu. Do not waste the chance and fulfill it immediately. Because this is pertains to a mitzvah, even though he had a chance, he had time to be matin neder before Shabbos, it would seem there's a pshia involved, he did something wrong, still, he is allowed to be matin neder on Shabbos. Either because it affects the Shabbos without being a mitzvah, or if it's a mitzvah, it is still permissible to be matin neder on Shabbos. Third, if you made a neder, let's say that to do work, sow every day, dig a ditch every day for the next 10 days. And then along came the Shabbos. And this contradicts the usual Shabbos. And here, it is permissible to be mataneder naturally, because otherwise there is the stira, contradictions, conflict with the Shabbos Kodesh. This too, in effect, is affected by the Shabbos, or Shabbos is affected by the neder. Therefore, in a case like this, there's a special halacha. They swore to the neder to do halacha for a certain number of days. And the Shabbos came in the middle. Let's say for a certain number of days, and that it ended on the Shabbos itself. The last day was Shabbos itself. So they got the neder on Shabbos, release himself from that neder naturally. These are the dinim of a Torah nedorim, which means a person who made a neder and has to be matir, release himself, free himself. The dinim of haforas nedorim, which are different, we'll take it up later, which we zecher to the neder godel nodar, rule of shlema koroiv. See with our eyes and ears called tzadik. Shabbos, as we explained, the din is that you're not allowed to be matir neder on Shabbos to release a person from his neder. The reason being because there's no necessity for it. You can wait till after Shabbos. But if it's one of two things, if it's a neder that pertains to the Shabbos itself, eating on Shabbos, you cannot eat. You cannot visit someplace or go to a certain shul or you want to daven. Because it's restricted by the neder. There's a lot to that neder even on Shabbos itself. Or if it's a neder which is a mitzvah, even though it does not pertain to Shabbos. Neder, let's say, put on tefillin. There's no question about that on Shabbos itself. Wait till tomorrow. Because it's a mitzvah, of course, how does that, how could a person swear not to put on tefillin? You cannot swear against something which the Torah commands you. He wants to explain the difference. The Gemara said the difference between a shvuah and a neder. A person swears, he refers to himself. He himself swears that he will not put on tefillin. He will not eat in his sukkah. On himself, there already is a chiyuv, an obligation. He has already sworn that it's his neshama, standing at Har Sinai when the Torah was given, has sworn to fulfill the mitzvahs. He cannot now swear to release himself from that obligation. Therefore, his shvuah is not chal, does not take effect against that which he has already sworn to abide by. But a neder is different. A neder is not that he gives a vow that he will not put on tefillin. A neder is that he restricts a certain item. He makes it into a forbidden item. Declares it the same as a korban, which is kodesh. He says the tefillin become kodesh, very holy. Admittedly, they're very holy, but they become the holiness of the kedusha of a korban. Korban, Yisrael cannot touch, he cannot eat. So thereby, it is possible for a person to actually forbid the tefillin. They become a forbidden object for this person. In a case like that, since it is a mitzvah to put on tefillin, he doesn't have to wait until after Shabbos. He's allowed to have the piece of the neder removed, nullified, even on Shabbos itself. Now, as we said, that if it is something that pertains to Shabbos, we're allowed to remove it on Shabbos. Therefore, it is that in case a wife makes a neder, in order to have hatoras nedorim, you need 3 individuals to make up a bezdin. There's also haforas nedorim, which is a special din, that if a wife makes a neder, chas v'shalom, so the husband is empowered to remove that neder. To remove it not by hatorah, but by hafora. The heifer is neder asher Allah. Husband could say, mufar Allah, removing that neder completely from her. But, whereas normally in case of a Torah, you go to 3 chachamim, the layman. Originally, the din was always one chacham could remove a neder. Now it's 3 ordinary people, or preferably 3 chachamim. They could remove the neder any time. It could be a day later, a week later, a year later, any time at all. The husband who was empowered to remove the neder of his wife is only beyond Shomai. The day in which he hears about the fact that she made a neder, only on that day alone can he remove the neder. If he waits till nightfall, then he no longer is able to remove that neder. He no longer has any power over a neder at all. So therefore, in the case of the husband who heard about his wife's neder on Shabbos, even though this neder does not pertain to Shabbos, it's not a devar mitzvah, ordinarily it cannot be removed, but since he has only this day alone to remove it, therefore in that case it is permissible for a husband to be meifir neder ishto on Shabbos. We once mentioned Agav. This is Agav, by the way. The Arizal says, what is the Mokkah, the Shadish, the origin of Torah Sadorim? The Arizal said that there's reason in depth to recall. The pasuk says, Ishki Yafli Linda. Neder is called a Pella. The word Pella is the backwards letter Aleph. Letter Aleph, which stands for Ekia or Bina. Bina is the Nukva. Yud Kei Vav Kei you have Yud Kei Sachma Bina, also known as Abo Ve'ima. Vav Kei are the Benubas. Bina is Ima. Bina is Ima, and Bina stands for the Neder. Since we say that the husband can remove the neder of the wife, who is the husband of Bina? Chachma. Chachma is ha-chacham. Ha-chacham, mate neder. Chachma can be mate, be made the neder of the wife. Therefore, since Bina is Aleph, is lahafli neder, Bina is neder, Chacham is mate the neder in the daughter. The same token, in other words, the original din is that the husband is made for the neder of the wife. We learn from there that since the husband is the chacham, the wife is the neder, so a chacham to be mati neder. It's point to the result in depth. The dhikr is that, as we said on Shabbos, it is permissible for a husband to make for the neder, even though it doesn't pertain to Shabbos or mitzvahs. However, the Gemara says that this should never take place. Never. Any person posking for a wife. Nobody should ever make a neder, even though it's for a devar mitzvah. Exception we learned about Rabbi Nachman said today is the reason a person wants to learn a lot and add more time to learning and davening than he may, according to the Gemara. Even then, it's only for those who are tzadikim. A person should do it without making a neder. A person wants to give tzedakah without making a neder. A person wants to make a pledge for tzedakah, he goes to the Sefer Torah, he should say always say B'li neder, or B'li neder as it's called, brought customers say B'li neder always. And that way he never finds himself with that serious chas v'sholom case where Gemara says that the third of the 10 Commandments, the whole Har Sinai trembled at it. We should be zeichet to have Shmiras Haloshim Yemes and Shmiras Halev. We should fulfill that which is pure and good. They should be emes, and thereby be zeichet to sing the Diaskil Tzedek of